Hi, Internet. Welcome to the Troyan YouTube channel. It is Thin Lizzy Thursday, the show where we break down every song in the Thin Lizzy catalog. I'm Troyan. I'm your host. I have no idea what song we're getting this week. Last week, I broke down in tears from a Phil Lynott demo, so yeah, sort of anything goes with this show. So we've got we've got Phil Lynott demos, we've got Phil solo, we've got Thin Lizzy proper, we've got Black Star Riders. So it could be any of those things. I have no idea what we're gonna get. I'm at the mercy of the random number generator. We have 208 tracks left on the list, so I'm gonna fire up that bad boy and see what we get this week. All right, so so it looks like we're doing Black Star Riders again this week. Last time we did Black Star Riders, there were a decent number of complaints that it's not really Lizzy, it's a different band. And I get that, but it feels like, once again, this is the sequel band to Lizzy. You know, it started off, the band was recording what they thought was going to be a Thin Lizzy album, and the musical direction, at least on the first album, was very deliberately trying to keep the legacy of Lizzy alive. So I still count it, and plus, a lot of these I don't know. So we're doing the title track off of the album Another State of Grace, and I don't really know this one. I think I've heard this maybe once. So this is going to be fresh for me. This will be an honest to goodness reaction, like the way that you're supposed to do things on these channels. So I don't know really too much about this one. So let's see what this is, the fourth album, so the most recent Black Star Riders album. Yeah, I don't know it. I don't know the track. I'm trying to get to the track so we can listen to it. Yeah, this is gonna be fresh and new for me. So let's let me just load it up. See what happens. Let's do it. Another State of Grace by Black Star Riders.
Cause it wasn't quite a war. To admit that it was would make it harder to ignore. The strength gave us courage, whiskey made us fight. Back when blood was thicker, back when blood was tight. Here comes the hallelujah man with free love, guns and dope. The last Irishman in Brooklyn just went up in fire and smoke. Bind the sons to exile to serve the motherland. Keep us all indebted and afraid of Uncle Sam. I couldn't love you anymore. Couldn't love you any less. I cross my heart and hope to die in another state of grace. In another state of grace. I cross my heart and hope to die in another state of grace.
Alright, so thus far it is remarkably okay, and not necessarily wowing me. It's very just competent modern hard rock with obviously a Celtic twist, which is sort of, trying to keep that Lizzy Irish legacy alive. Actually, I've always had the idea to do a like hard rock cover of Philemurier, the Irish folk song about working on the railroads in the United States. And some of the riffing and the shouting of "Hey" is sort of similar to what I had in my head for that cover version that I wanted to do. But of course, a million different musical ideas in this brain of mine, and just not the budget to get it all to happen. Um, but I do. So that is kind of cool hearing that come to fruition in a way with this. Um, but hook wise, it's just it's okay. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily great either. The fact that this is like a single is slightly worrisome, because it's like the fact that this is just okay and not blowing me away makes me think that the rest of the album is maybe not super strong, because I haven't listened to this album, so this would be fresh for me, any track off it. But let's take a look at these lyrics. They called it the Troubles because it wasn't quite a war. To admit that it was would make it harder to ignore. History gave us courage. Whiskey made us fight. Back when blood was thicker. Back when blood was tight. So they called it Troubles because it wasn't quite a war. That's an interesting statement, especially because as we get further into the lyrics, it's clear they're talking about the United States. And the United States hasn't actually declared war in a long time. I think the last war we actually declared was against Korea. Or it might have even been World War II. But we don't declare them wars, we declare them conflict. So Vietnam was never technically a war, it was a conflict. So that way they can say the United States never lost a war, and just different maneuverings of politics in order to have more freedom. Not necessarily, sorry, freedom might be the weird word, but to have more flexibility with our military actions, and like skirting around different regulations by calling them things other than wars. Um, and so just like the official declaration of war, like doing that extra step in the paperwork, allows you, like it just gives us different limitations. I'm not explaining it very well, and I'm not an expert in it. But calling something a conflict instead of war just allows you to do different things in regards to it. Here comes the Hallelujah Man with the free love, guns, and dope. The last Irishman in Brooklyn just went up in fire and smoke. Bind our sons to exile to serve the motherland, to keep us all indebted and afraid of Uncle Sam. So these lyrics are good. So let's try to analyze this. Here comes the Hallelujah Man with the free love, guns, and dope. So basically, maybe that's sort of a statement about the state of America and society, in that you have this mixture of free loving hippies, dangerous amounts of drugs and guns, and just making this volatile mess. The last Irishman in Brooklyn just went up in fire and smoke. So obviously they're big into the Irish heritage, especially with Phil's sort of lingering presence over the group. And so with that, the last Irishman being gone and going up in fire and smoke. So just whether or not it's Phil or a different Irishman, it's sort of like this poetic Irish spirit is now gone, is sort of what they're saying. Bind our sons to exile to serve the motherland. So keep us all in debt and afraid of Uncle Sam. So just you're caught in this sort of bargain with the country, and doing things that you don't necessarily want to do. So I mean, these lyrics are quite good. I couldn't love you any more, couldn't love you any less. I'll cross my heart and hope to die in another state of grace, in another state of grace. I'll cross my hope to die in another state of grace. So it's I mean, lyrically quite good. Musically, it's just okay for me. But let's rewind a little bit and get back to it.
Democracy is coming on a sea of alcohol. From construction sites to shipyards, you better sing along. You better love your family, you better earn your pay. Cause democracy is coming, that's the order of the day.
Alright, that was a really good verse in terms of lyrics. Democracy is coming on a sea of alcohol, from construction sites to shipyards. You better sing along, you better love your family, you better earn your pay, because democracy is coming, that's the order of the day. So it's really just about how you're being forced into this box, and just sort of just all these different statements on American society and a democracy. Democracy is coming out of a sea of alcohol, so people in the free society, drinking away their sorrows from construction sites to shipyards. You better sing along. So it's like you better have a job. You better love your family. You better be working hard. And if you got issues, just drink your sorrows away. So just sort of just a blanket look at sort of the uglier side of modern American society seems to be the lyrical theme for this one. So yeah, rewind just a hair, get back to it.
That's the order of the day. I couldn't love you anymore. Couldn't love you any less. I cross my heart and hope to die in another state of grace. In another state of grace. I cross my heart and hope to die in another state of grace. Another lost loved one, full of tales of home. The heartbeats in a fist of a spirit never broken. Swinging out of memories that we will not forget. There'll be no sweet surrender when blood and soul connect. I couldn't.
Let's take a look at those lines. Another lost loved one, full of tales of home. The heart beats any fist of a spirit never broken, swinging out at memories that we will never forget. There'll be no sweet surrender when blood and sorrow connect. So um, first of all, always love the usage of the line "sweet surrender" in a song. But yeah, when blood and sorrow connect, that's obviously reference to war and violence. So yeah, it's a bit of a darker song lyrically. Rewind just a hair.
Blood and soul connect. I couldn't love you anymore. Couldn't love you any less. I cross my heart and hope to die in another state of grace. In another state of grace. I cross my heart and hope to die in another state of grace. In another state of grace. In another state of grace.
All right, so there you go. That is Black Star Riders, Another State of Grace. So, a few things to sort of acknowledge that this is probably my second time hearing the song. I think I checked out the single when it first came out, and then it didn't really leave an impression on me. Um, and I watched the music video while I was reacting to it. I didn't put the video up simply because that would potentially lead to a copyright strike. Because typically with the newer music videos, those are the ones more likely to get blocked. So, but just using the audio typically seems to be fine. It's possible the audio quality was slightly lower because I used the music video version, but I didn't see the audio only version in the search results. Didn't want to spend too long looking for that, because that is boring airtime. So acknowledging those factors going in, and this is really an off the cuff listen, very loose analysis. So I don't necessarily have the I'm trying to understand this, for the first time. I'm doing a reaction the way I'm supposed to. Like, I don't really know it. Let's see what I think. So I'm not used to doing reactions like people are supposed to. There's a part of me that's glad that we have the Black Star Rider songs on there because it does give me stuff that's new LIZZY that I can react to. And the fact that I haven't gone out of my way to listen to a lot of it makes it fresh and exciting because I don't really know what I'm gonna get. That does add a fun factor to seeing what I get in the random number generator. And there's also a part of me that kind of wants to get a lot of them out of the way so that, like, when we get to the end of this journey, it's not all just Black Star Rider songs. Um, but this one, it's just like it's good lyrically. That is one nice thing about the band is that, like, lyrically, they're keeping up the standard that Phil set in terms of the lyrics being good. I think I would have liked a more direct, easier to understand narrative in this song because there's different interpretation of the lyrics one can have. But yeah, I'd say this is solid B. It's it's not blowing my mind, but I didn't hate it either. I'll probably give this one a couple more listens throughout the week to see if it clicks with me more. But yeah, it was fine. In terms of the greater pantheon of Thin Lizzy songs, probably ranks towards the bottom. Also, let me know if you guys want me to do a ranking video of all the songs we've covered thus far as a Thin Lizzy Thursday at some point, because I would be down to do that if you guys are interested in that. Once we hit some kind of milestone, I don't even know how many we're at this point. But yeah, I'll rank all the songs maybe periodically if you guys want me to do that. But this one, yeah, it's fine. Let me know if you guys liked it in the comments down below. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, so much for supporting, for telling your friends about the show, spreading the word about Thin Lizzy Thursday. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. And I know this episode isn't likely to get as many shares because this is Black Star Riders as much is very divisive in the fan base. But yeah, interested to know what you guys think of this one. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you next week. Hoping it is what am I hoping for next week? Something with Phil is what I'm hoping for. But Ricky's great. Scott did a great solo on this. But hoping for something with Phil next week. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye, everyone.